GeForce RTX 5070 Founders Edition won't be available at launch. AMD showcases Toyshop Realtime Path Tracing demo for RX 9000 series. And AMD Radeon RX 9060 XT leaks out with 16 gigs and 8 gigs models. Okay, so first of all, here from iNet, we have an article about the RTX 5070, and it looks like the launch for the RTX 5070 is gonna be very, very bad. Because clearly they state that it looks like it won't be able to release the cards when it is the date of launch, which is March 5, which is already today. Basically, you could say that. So it is gonna be bad, what they're saying. So you won't be able to get any RTX 5070 in the launch date, which is confusing. Again, a paper launch, which is terrible. So they're saying we hope to start releasing cards and computers with RTX 5070 in the next few weeks. So it is not, still we have a doubt that RTX 5070 will be coming maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the launch date. So that is pretty bad when it comes to RTX 5070, because 9070 or 9070 XT, their side is looking pretty good as the stock will be available for AMD. So this is bad. And as you can see, Hardware Unbox posted this particular information here. Is that fun fact: if you see 9070 XT sold out shortly after release, it will mean retailers will have sold more 9070 XTs than all GeForce 50 series GPUs combined. This includes RTX 5070 stock. So 9070 XT will get sold out because there won't be any other GPU in the shelves anyway other than 9070 XT, because whole RTX 50 series lineup is looking pretty damn bad already, and now the stock issues. I think this time around Nvidia might lose a lot of audience and AMD is gonna take the market share, so that's, I guess, good for AMD and bad for Nvidia. As reported by Andres Schilling, he reports, you think you can buy a GeForce RTX 5070 Founders Edition tomorrow? No, Nvidia told us 2.5 hours before review drop, the RTX 5070 Founders Edition will be available later in March. So there will be no Founders Edition even in the launch date. This is the most paper launch I've ever seen for any GPU to be released. So yeah, this is pretty bad. And next up, we have an interesting AMD stuff going on here. Basically, path tracing is also coming to AMD, but there is a caveat here, and we'll come to that later. But let's first look into what they're bringing in here. So this is the Toyshop Realtime Path Tracing Neural Rendering Tech Demo. So as you can see, this is the path tracing in action, and it looks pretty good. I mean, at least for now, as you can see, real-time path tracing with their denoiser being applied here, and it looks very decent. This is the last output we get to see here, and most of the images are looking not that bad. It looks good as they're bringing in for the first time. This is the path tracing that they're bringing in here, so it's not that bad. But there is some problems here. Right over here, as you can see, there are multiple moving objects, and when you see more moving objects coming into the action, there you get to see a lot of ghosting effect. And obviously in movement you might not be able to tell the difference here, but there are some serious ghosting. We'll get to see that. So as you can see, PC Gamer has reported this. AMD says its ghostly Toyshop tech demo is truly not reflective. Obviously, that is a very much question mark there, that are they really telling the truth here, because it looks very ghosty. We'll come to that. Of what FSR will look like when it ships with RDNA 4 cards this week. I mean, pretty sure this is being ran in FSR 4 and also in RX 9000 series of GPUs. So what's the catch here? It doesn't really make any sense what this particular statement is. Toyshop tech demo is truly not reflective. I mean, basically it's running on RX 9000 series of GPUs, so it is literally what is reflecting, and that is ghost. Very high ghosting. You can clearly tell this is bad. This is not detailed properly. And according to Notebook Chuck, they have notified these informations here. As you can see, this picture, we've zoomed in picture here, and as you can see, the ghosting trails are noticeable, pretty much noticeable. Maybe it kind of looks like a bit blurry in some cases, but you shouldn't be able to see that much blur when the cars are not even moving that fast. So yeah, I mean, it's not that great, but then again, it's their first generation path tracing to AMD here, so that is not gonna be a big game changer anyway. So I guess time will tell if this will change or not. So I hope that it gets improved over time, because, you know, same goes for Nvidia. Their path tracing entry wasn't that great. So maybe AMD will improve it later on. We'll see about that. And lastly, we have an EEC filing here, and well, this is very interesting. And also, I think AMD is also making a big mistake here, which is, as you can see, RX 9060 XT with 16 gigs OCC and RX 9060 XT with 8 gigs OCC. This is where I'm gonna question mark big time, because, well, we already know that 4060 Ti is coming with 16 gigs and 8 gigs, and in my previous videos I've already talked about that. That's a big mistake, that you're crippling 4060 Ti's performance, even though I'm pretty sure it's gonna suck anyway because the whole lineup sucks except for 5090. Even then 5090 should have delivered more, but anyway, we're not gonna go into that. 9060 XT also coming with 16 gigs, which is good, but also they're bringing in an 8 gigs model. That is completely useless. And again, similar tactics like Nvidia, they're gonna charge more for the 16 gigs variant and less for the 8 gigs. That literally, like, I don't get it. Is it really that necessary to add 16 gigs of, well, VRAM for a 9060 XT, which is, I'm guessing, at max, it's a 1440p GPU. And in 1440p GPUs, I don't think you need more than 12 gigs anyway. So yeah, it's, I mean, it's confusing, because 8 gigs is gonna cripple the GPU and make it a 1080p card. And in some titles in 1440p it might be sufficient, but I'm pretty sure it won't be, because we already know it in 1440p at least you need 10 gigs. So 16 gigs is good, but do we need 8 gigs variant? This is the problem with both Nvidia and AMD they're making. They're crippling the GPU performance with the VRAM. But I hope I'm gonna be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be wrong, because in 1440p you need at least 10 gigs for a VRAM. So yeah, it's gonna be bad. But hopefully the performance for the 9060 XT will be good, at least better than 4060 Ti. That's what I'm hoping, because that's what the trend is looking like. So yeah, we'll see about that. Alright, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and of course these informations about the AMD path tracing is a bit sad, but also over time it might get improved. So yeah, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.